Welcome back, surf fans, to the 2015 Vans World Cup of Surfing. This is round 2, heat number 9. Carlos Munoz, Cooper Chapman, Yaden Nicol, Thiago Camarão. 30-minute heat. And as you can clearly see, the waves still pumping here at Sunset Beach. This is the second stop, the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing. Chris Cote here with Pete Mel. Pete, so far so good. Sunset Beach acting as protagonist to many a surfer's plea to qualify. An unsympathetic wave when it comes to...
You've been reading your thesaurus, haven't you?
I have been trying.
Yeah,
all right,
nice.
Here we go. Carlos Munoz up and out real quick. Yaden Nicol and Thiago Camarão, both similar up and down waves. Plenty of time for these surfers. Last heat, Murray McGonigal powering through, and here we go. Cooper Chapman, young Australian surfer, brought out the step up. And that was a good choice. As you see these waves from the beach, as you look out there, you're thinking it might be manageable. But then when you see on the screen, it's huge, Pete.
Sure is. This is the stuff that we dream about. Offshore conditions, pumping 8 to 10, 12-foot sets of Sunset Beach, good angle, and we got surfing happening right in front of us.
I believe that's Maxime Houchinot coming in from that last heat.
Well, looking at making the cut implications in this heat, Carlos Munoz, Cooper Chapman, both having pretty good opportunities here if they can make a few heats. Tuning in those super surfboards, figuring out what the perfect magical carpet will be for under his feet for this event. And then, of course, Cooper Chapman having a good run at the Hawaiian Pro. Cooper in 21st position could conceivably find his way on the championship tour if he were to finish 5th place or higher. So again, talk about that chip in a chair, the poker analogy, they've got a chance. It's
not out of the realm of possibilities, I tell you. This is, you know, we saw Dark Horse take the win at Haleiwa for the Hawaiian Pro. Wade Carmichael, he was leading the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing. Unfortunately for Wade, went down yesterday, so now the Vans Triple Crown is wide open as well.
Oh, here's
Cooper Chapman
on a bomb. Nice first arc. You know, he looked good at the Hawaiian Pro, doing that type of surfing. You know, he's known for doing you know, some innovation and progression, but he has worked on his rail game right the Simon Anderson surfboards, and that has helped him, I think, you know, kind of conceive this well-rounded game. You know, he works well with Simon, good friends, and that translates into good surfboards and good confidence.
QS, he's had some years on the World Championship Tour. He's been a star of videos, films, magazine favorite. Yaden Nicol, a household name. But right now, let's have our first look at Carlos Munoz. Cranks it off the bottom, right into the lip, airdropping, snap. Again, deep bottom turn, straight up to the lip. Carlos Munoz, 3-turn combination on a huge wave at Sunset. That was nicely chosen and excellent surfing for Carlos Munoz.
Well, that practice out here looking like it's paying off. You know, again, I saw the way they were working with Matt Bambrose, who is also in the Volcom camp, along with Riddle, Shibata, Kyborg, that they were looking at boards and literally swapping them out, getting out in the lineup, trying it out, and all of that is very helpful in order to figure out what you want to do. And look at this, big arc, airdrops down into the pit, good wave choice too. Again, slams the lip, wasn't able to complete that as a clean arc, but either way, made sure that he didn't make any mistakes, and he kicks out in the channel, and that is success, especially this early in the heat. You watch again, he almost looked like he's setting up the inside section, realized he wasn't going to barrel, so he goes up there, airdrops down, finds another section, slams it, comes down. So great first opening score for Carlos Munoz.
That was like dissecting an elephant right there. You just saw, he just placed all his turns, and you know, I like that he was on the edge.
And they figured out a way to get those microphones pointed at the ocean and directing it right to the guys and letting them allow to hear it.
Well, here's Yaden Nicol. He had a late takeoff on his stomach, but now he's up and riding. Big open face. This is a grower. Coming to the inside section, he wants no piece of that. Wisely pulling out. Right behind him, Cooper Chapman now up and out. So unruly last couple of waves that have come through here at Sunset Beach. 18 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Surfers just kind of tempting fate wide on the corners, getting those big whitewater roll-ins. And a lot of times when you get late whitewater takeoff and you're kind of riding in the soup, you really have no idea what the wave is actually doing and how it's building up down the line. It can be pretty sketchy. Here we go. Carlos Munoz, perfect takeoff, finding his line, racing in front of a giant chunk of whitewater, hunting for open face. He's currently just kind of stuck in a giant foam ball. This one could potentially reform, but he's out. Once you get that far into the channel, that reform will not happen.
Yeah, that entire set actually swing off of the reef. We'll see that kind of happen, unfortunately, with the tide kind of starting to move the other direction now. Those bigger sets will move off the reef, but what it could do is those medium-sized ones that are just at the perfect part of the reef are going to get hollower and hollower. So we hope that we can see some crazy inside bowl sections. Take a look at this belly takeoff here from Yaden Nichols. Not easy to do. It is super hard to stand up when all the gravity is pushing you down onto your board to be able to push up. That's extra training. That's why you sit in the gym. That's why you do those sit-ups and push-ups at home, because that's those kinds of situations, especially out here.
That last wave for Yaden Nichols comes through at a 2-1-0. Enough for third place, but as of now, the only real score of any relevance, 7.33 for Carlos Munoz.
North coming across, big, it's hard to get into those sections once they've already broken, and this is that section that looks good. Cooper Chapman making a move.
Cooper Chapman, foam ball takeoff, gets around this big section, and he opts out. So all four surfers now having a little bit of trouble deciphering what's going on out here at Sunset Beach.
At 15, 16 seconds, which is 10-foot swell, but then when it hits different parts of the reef, it'll jack up. The outside portion gets 20 to 25. There's probably 20 to 25 foot faces outside.
Well, this is a big wave for Thiago Camarão again. Same situation as we just saw with Yaden and Cooper. That drop in, you see that kind of end section just crumbling down.
There's that age-old debate. Oh, the Hawaiian scale compared to the California scale, and whereas Sunset is 25-foot face. So how do you determine how big is it? Oh, it's 6 to 8 foot. But that's what I'm saying, is if it's 6 to 8 foot on the North Shore, each wave will translate to a different face height.
That's
Sunset Beach is...
if you're looking out here, it's 6 to 8 foot, 10-foot sets, when in reality the faces are 15 to 20 feet.
Exactly. Whereas you go down to Pipeline, and the wave faces are going to be much smaller, but it's still in its 6 to 8 foot swell.
Well, Yaden Nichols looks like he's on a wave right in between 6 to 8 feet, and he is making it work for him. He's fighting against it right now, but a couple good turns through that mid portion, pulls out cleanly. The judges like to see you control the wave from beginning to end, even in an out of control situation like we see some of the surfers dealing with now with so much speed going down the line. It's everything they can do to just set the rail and try to wipe off a little bit of speed and still make the turn look critical. I think Yaden Nichols did a great job of that right there. Almost getting taken out on the takeoff.
And Yaden drops into this big section. I like what Yaden does. He definitely doesn't like to ride really big boards. He'd rather ride a little bit shorter and get that mobility. And, it makes for exciting surfing. When he gets those nice clean faces, he's going to be able to just whip that board around. You can see right here, he's just holding the rail, gets through this section. This one has some ribs in the face, so he has to steer through it. There he kind of pushes the fins. He's felt it drift slightly, but able to control it, pull it off. This is going to be a good way for Yaden. This is going to put him right in this heat. It's going to move him out of third.
Of course, this is the second stop, 2015 Vans Triple Crown of Surfing. So far, the leaderboard for the overall Triple Crown was Wade Carmichael. Obviously, he was going into this event as the leader, but now we're looking at Ezekiel Lau possibly cracking into that top. And here's a look at the highlights of Heat 9 here in round 2.
Ooh, look at this. This is Carlos Munoz trying to find that hole to get out to back up that 7.33. This happened during the break. And just a 3.33. But look at that thing, just frothy monster.
Well, this is live. Cooper Chapman might have a little gem to work with here. One opening turn, deep bottom turn. Nice carve on the open face. Hoping for this thing to reform a little bit through this inside section. So nothing super searing on that open face right there, but Cooper Chapman only needing a 4.44. I say only, because on paper, not a huge score, but I'll tell you what, those 4s, those are kind of the difference makers today. Finding a 4 and bettering something in that 2 range is really difficult.
Certain things you have to get out of it. It's a quality wave, you know, and it has to give you a critical section. You know, we've seen good scores come from one big turn, but, you know, those waves that you just don't see the wave stand up and look ominous, generally you're going to see 3s kind of rewarded. And we'll see where this one goes in for Cooper Chapman. You know, he's got a 4.67 already in his scoreline. He needs to see something in the 6s and 7s if he really wants to feel a bit more comfortable here.
As far as guys going against each other, we've seen 2 interferences so far, but nothing really crazy intentional. So it's more about surfers versus ocean right now. And here we go, Thiago Camarão. Slow start for Thiago. Goes straight up the lip. Can't hang on. He's got a 1.23 and a 0.67, not having the heat he wanted. He's currently sitting in 4th place.
Well, that score came in.
The lead.
It was enough. It was a 4.53 right there for Cooper, right? So that overtook Yates and put him into that position now that he's in where he needs a score.
Yeah, I think he really, smartly so, surfed for a 4.5. You know what I'm saying? He didn't push too hard. He didn't, you know, risk a lot, but it was just enough for the judges. Now here goes Carlos Munoz.
Oh, speed wobbles.
Speeding down the line, now wiping off some speed with a big carve, eyeing the inside section. One more carve, back to the whitewater. Carlos Munoz. Looks like he's hunting for something on the inside, and behind him, Yaden Nickel goes up the lip, gets hung up, and goes down. Carlos still going. Somehow maintaining control through whoop-de-doos. And that was a caddy. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Yaden Nickel. He needed a 2.2, but again, that just illustrates the difficulty in deciphering Sunset Beach at this size. Well, only I think we've seen 2, maybe 3 interferences in this event, so clean surfing going on in trying conditions. And here we go, Cooper Chapman. He's got one more chance to solidify that 2nd place finish right now. He's got a good line towards this inside section, cranks it off the bottom. Nice carve out on the open face. Gets over one more hump, straight up into the lip. Nicely ridden wave for Cooper Chapman.
Well, and then now behind him.
Here we go, Yaden Nickel. Yaden, a lot of speed. Onto the open face, a lot of speed, met with a lot of chunks coming up this wave. Here we go, onto the open face. Nice carve, Yaden Nickel. And he's hoping for something magic on the inside, and the expression right there
it is.
on Yaden's face tells me he doesn't think it's enough.
Well, he's got a, it's interesting. So we'll watch Cooper's wave again real quick. This is your heat leader. He's not going to change his score line. I think he did 4.37 was enough to extend his lead. So he added another full point to his 2-wave total. It's Cooper Chapman. Will he better his low score on that last wave? And will Yaden end up getting the score? So this is a big exchange. You're going to have to wait for these scores to post.
Well, the judges now have kind of a lot to decipher here. Cooper Chapman started messy, but then he surfed really clean as he got on the open face of this wave.
Yeah, and again, he took the first wave. Yaden let him have it, and it really comes down to that carve. You know, is that going to add an extra point? And he gets it off the top, so I feel like this is going to better his situation. You know, maybe not by a ton. And then we see this wave. Again, whitewater takeoff, gets the first section here, and gosh, so much bump on the face, just redirects off the top. You know, you never got that nice open opportunity except for down here on the inside. There's that carve back to the foam. So Cooper does help his situation.
Yeah, 5.27 for Cooper Chapman.
So now Yaden needs a 2.94.
Whoa, okay. This could be pretty close. Scores are coming through, and wow, this could be big right here for Yaden Nickel. One more score to drop. It's a 4.67. It's enough. Yaden Nickel dodges a bullet in the final 20 seconds of Heat 9. Carlos Munoz will advance through with Yaden Nickel. Cooper Chapman in 3rd. Camarão in 4th. Stick around. More action to come. This is the Vans World Cup of Surfing.